It's all fine. So I'm waiting on our next project arriving, and it's coming on the back of a flatbed or a trailer. One of the two, I don't know. Which would suggest that it's a non-runner, wouldn't it? So, it's getting dark now, and I hate doing this at night. I have seen this car once, very briefly, in the dark, and then I'm getting it delivered in the dark. So who knows? It might even be a completely different car. GoPro for the first time, little GoPro Hero 10. See? I do listen to people to upgrade my stuff, and this was one of them. I'm really hoping that this car arrives pretty soon because it's getting too dark to do some good shots tonight. But if it comes, I'll do some shots tomorrow in the light and we'll add it to this video because this is getting very exciting. I reckon I have to clear some of this out. I think this one could be a garage guy for a while by the sounds, but maybe not, might get lucky. But it's still in the middle of winter here and I like to keep this one in the garage because it is pretty decent condition now. I'd say near mint with this one. But this new one, I say new, I'll give you a clue, it's 20 odd years old. And it's smaller than this, but it's supercharged. Weather nice in your area? What do you think of that storm last week, eh? We got away quite easily actually, just a fence down, that was it. Anything else? No? Okay. Let's crack on, please. Hurry up. Come on. Where is it? Where is it? It's getting exciting. It's getting exciting. Be it? Could this be it? How you doing? I like them, yeah. They're good, yeah. Jags, yeah.
There you go.
Better. So now I'm ready for another project. Another car to come in, more work to be done. I don't know, I cannot stand dirty floors. I just have to do it. Every time I bring a car in out and finish one, I've got to do that because, I don't know, it just makes you feel better. And we'll get this little bad boy in. Where is he? Oh, there he is. He's keeking round the corner, just waiting to come in to get some TLC. Garage is looking not too bad, isn't it? And if you're a Patreon, you'll have seen these already, but all my little die-cast models and stuff that I've got. Need to get a Mercedes one now. So if you've logged onto this because you're a Mercedes guy, go and check out my playlist for this bad boy here, the SL350 that we had. Called him Slick. That was a really nice car. Big brother of the SLK, obviously. And so far, I've only just briefly looked at that SLK in the sense of moving it out the way from my garage door. And there's a lot of similarities inside, and there's a lot of things that are completely different as well. So one big difference is this bad boy had 2 batteries, whereas that one's only got one little battery. So we'll see how we get on. But yeah, go and have a look at that. That's a good. I enjoyed that car. I really enjoyed my time with it. I did quite a lot of jobs on that as well. So if you've got one yourself, you might find something that will be useful to you. Thank you. Hello, baby brother. Don't worry, I'm coming. Don't worry, you'll get MOT'd, you'll be fixed. By the end of these videos, don't know how many, but by the end of these videos you'll be done. Stay calm. 2004 Mercedes SLK 230 Supercharged. So it looks pretty good, doesn't it? Unfortunately, it's got no MOT. And it's got a few advisories on it that we need to take care of. The headlights being very yellowy. To do that, and just the short distance of kind of driving it in here and rotating it round, the back right brake is making a noise. Don't know if it's a wheel bearing yet or a brake disc or something, but it's going like that. So SLK 230. Now what this one doesn't have is a lot of rust. You can see there the arches are pretty good. This one doesn't have any rust at all. There's a tiny little bit there on the bottom of the door, and there's a bit here on the front of the door. But this arch as well is in pretty good nick, because they usually suffer pretty badly from wheel arch rust. And I think we've got, we've obviously got some steel props. And I've got some rust on the panel there, and the same over here. This wheel arch, that looks okay. Wee bit in the door again, and on this is the worst bit. So the front wing has got rust there, and a wee bit of bubbling on the arch. But we'll not know how bad it is until we get it in the garage and take a proper look. And we need to make sure that everything's working on it. So let's get it into the garage. So, we're in and we're running. It did sound a bit lumpy there, almost cut out when I was bringing it in there, but I just chalked that up to it's not been ran for, over nearly a year, I don't know, last summer. But I have never had this amount of room to work in my garage with a car inside it, which will be a luxury. So, okay, the big question on everyone's lips. Does this work? Does the roof work? Only one way to find out. Okay, trying the roof for the first time in the garage. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, let's try this roof then. Yeah! Okay. Trying the roof for the first time. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. No! What the? Oh, wait, dog. Wait a minute. Hold on. I think I've messed up. I think that was my fault. Oh, let's try again. Okay, take 2 on the roof. Let's try now. Ooh! Windows are moving. Oh, trunks are coming up. Trunks are coming up. Oh, we're going. Oh. Yes! Oh, windows. Hello. Bye-bye. We're there. What the problem with there was I didn't have the trunk thing down. You know, the partition. I didn't have it locked in. That's why it didn't work. Starting to panic there, starting to panic. I forgot about that. So when you've got the trunk in, or down, you've got to have this partition pulled all the way forward. I didn't. Oh look, spare grille. And what's this? What's this little box here? I've not really had a good route round this car yet, but we'll open that in a minute. There's that little bit of rust that we'll need to take care of. Overall though, it's not too bad, you know. So let's have a look inside. Needs a good clean, let's be honest. It needs a good valet, and it's got it is pretty good. It's pretty good overall. Does have a lot of wear on the door card here, rings and whatnot, and keys hitting it and scuffs and all that. So we can get some leather paint and repaint that. Door card looks alright. This looks okay, just needs a good clean. It's very clean in there, I must admit. The guy who's had it before me has obviously done some jobs on it. The bolster needs a bit of repair work done to it. We'll sort that out. This looks pretty decent. We'll do all the seals. We'll treat all of these seals for the roof. If you've seen my SL videos, you'll have seen me doing that with the, what do you call it, Krylox? I can't remember, hold on. Let's see if I've got it. It should be in here somewhere. Or did I put it over here? Oh yeah, my parts department area and fluids is over here now. Ah, there it is. This stuff here. And it's from Mercedes, this one. Special, what does that say? Special gel metal fluid. The stuff you put in the seals. That's all you need to know. And you treat the whole seals with that, and it keeps them nice and fresh for years to come. Now, and we've got the kind of wear going on in the centre console there as well. Again, we can repaint all this. Not too bad in the passenger door card. The whole thing just is going to get a full valet, seats out, carpets shampooed, all the good stuff. And we'll treat all of these seals there, around here. We'll get the ones on the roof itself, and we'll partially put the roof up. Maybe have to block it with a bit of wood or something like that, and then treat all of those seals. The good thing about these SLKs though, if you've had an SL, they always came with those little flaps that kind of covered this area, and they always broke. And I did a video on me repairing one of these flaps and putting it back on. They always kind of came up when the roof was up, and they flopped down when it went down, or a little spring. These don't have that, which is a better design. And I believe that the later SLKs, SLs, took that flap away, because it was, you would always see them when you went to see an SL. This bit here was just missing. And it's got this thing here, which I'm guessing is like a little windbreak thing. which I might remove because looks as if it's on a couple of screws here. I prefer to be able to see out, to be honest. So we'll maybe remove that. Yeah, it's on a couple of screws. And then we'll need to check all of the lights. We'll need to check the windscreen wipers, the washer fluid works. We'll need to go over the brakes, and like I said, I do think we've got a problem here, because it might just be the fact it's been sitting for so long, but this back brake was making a noise. As you were kind of turning to the right, it was going vroom, 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 vroom. And then fine when you were straight, but I think it might either be binding a little bit, or the back plate might be hitting it, or the brake pads might just be worn down, or I don't know. I couldn't really tell if it was a wheel bearing. I hope it's not a wheel bearing. I don't want to do a wheel bearing one of these at the back. Anyway, we shall have a look and see. But look at that, it's pretty good, isn't it? That's really good rust freeness of the wheel arch there. Might not be completely once we get inside, but it's pretty good. Now let's check out the engine. Oh, where's the wee thing? There we are. There we are. Again, this needs a bit of touching up as well, the leather paint that you can get. You can get it straight from the place that Mercedes got it from, but I like Scratch Doctor. They usually do some good touch-up paints that I've used before, so we'll give them a little shout out and see if they can do one for this car. Guessing it's kind of anthracite colour. Maybe black for the seats, I don't know. Hard to tell. These new wiper blades, I don't know what's going on here. There's kind of weird patterns developed here, which is on the inside of the windshield. I'll need to treat that, clean it. And these headlights definitely need done. You can see the difference there, the side indicators. We'll need to get the polish out, and the buffer, maybe even wet sand it, don't know. Let me replace this badge as well. Right, let's have a look, see what's going on here. Here's the thing. There we are. Woo! To get some light, hold on. Okay. 2.3 litres of supercharged power. Not too bad. Oh god. Right, okay. Yeah. It's not too bad. Just a little bit. Just a wee bit to say hello. We'll clean all this off. That's not a big deal. We'll get some paint and we'll sand all this down and rust it back. The cover might have to come off though, but that's no big deal. We'll deal with this. Along here looks pretty straight. A few wee rust bits here, but really not too bad for a 21-year-old car. This isn't bad at all. I don't know what's going on here with the cover. I think I might have spilled brake fluid on that or something because it's completely gone, but again, we can deal with that. We can refinish it or get another one if we can off eBay. But this is pretty good. We need to check that the battery's taking a charge. What we got? Oh, Toyota. Maybe it doesn't like the Toyota battery. As if it knows. Oh, we're pretty decent here. What we got there? Wee bit of dirtiness. No leaks, the looks of things. Oil filters up the top, good. Power steering pumps there. What we got down here? Superchargers down there. See that end pulley? One with the silver on the end of it, that's the supercharger pulley. So, I'm not an expert by any means, but supercharger is a way of forcing air, more air, into the engine than you would if you didn't have a supercharger. And this one, I like these kinds because these are like the twin screw ones. So it's like two screws that spin into each other and suck air in. It's in through here, down the pipe, into the supercharger, and it'll go through the intercooler, up through this pipe and in to the throttle body there and the engine. So it forces more air into it when you're accelerating. Now, you've seen the big American cars. I don't know what I'm looking at here. I'm used to 8 or 6 cylinders, but at least Mercedes have put the 4 cylinders in the right direction as opposed to that way. I can't stand 4 cylinders that are that way, and most of them are because I'm just too chunky to get in about the belts and stuff. At least they've put it here. So look at that, look, hello. Space to work. Excellent. what was I saying? Oh yeah, if you've seen American V8s and stuff that are pretty much centred, you've got a bank here and a bank here. Supercharger most of the time is plonked right in the top. And you've seen the older hot rods that come out through the bonnet with the air intake up here. Supercharger sits between, previously it would be the air intake, supercharger, the carburetor, then the engine. Now this one is away down here, right? Kind of like almost placed in a similar place to a turbo, if you like, not quite as bad. But it's the same principle. It's forcing air in through these pipes and stuff. Just the V8s you've maybe seen, if you'd supercharge a Mustang or something, the supercharger will sit right on top. That's the difference. And this is a Eaton supercharger, or a kind of roots one, if you like, twin screw. You get little centrifugal ones as well, which look like turbos, and I don't know why I don't like them. I think I feel as if I'm putting a turbo in the car with one of them. I don't know, but they're still a supercharger. But I like this style better. So hopefully that's working okay. The car did stutter a bit when I brought it in here, but like I say, it hasn't been ran for a long time, so it might not be a problem. So we'll do all the fluids if they need done. We'll do the oil change, we'll do the filters, we'll check the coolant, we'll check the brake fluid, and we'll do everything that needs to be done, power steering, and we'll see if any of that needs changed. I do have quite a bit of service history with this car. Main dealership stops at about 30,000 miles. Then it was an independent dealer within near where I live. I had fuel injectors. They look quite new. See them? They're purple. They look reasonably new. Sometimes I see these little bits here. These are for an engine cover. You can get a plastic cover that goes over all of this. Not going to waste money on that though, am I? So, yeah, we're looking pretty good so far. So far, so good. No idea what luxury this is for me. I can shut the door, I can still get a jack underneath it. I don't need to do it half outside like I did with the Corvette. This is, and I've got so much space. I could get two of these cars in this garage and work on it if I had the. I need to clear all this stuff out. I'm going to get a shed or something for outside and get all of this out, so I can use this bay as well, even just for storing this for a wee while. So, hello. What are we going to do with this car? I think the first job obviously is to get it back on the road again and get it through its MOT, and then we can take it from there. But there's a few jobs I think I'll need to do before the MOT, because as it's been sitting for so long, the brakes might need done. And like I say, I do have a suspicion about this back right wheel. We'll jack it up and we'll have a play around with that and see what's going on, but pretty good so far. And shout out to previous owner Colin, who not only sold this to me, but delivered it to me on the trailer. That was him you saw at the start of the video, which was excellent, and it was a good find to find one of these locally. So Colin's a good car guy, and he's kept this well, so a lot of the jobs I would normally be starting with, I probably don't need to do. But if you sit any car for any length of time over a winter period or whatever, the brakes and the tyres are the first things that usually go, and the rust will creep into them first of all. So that's nobody's fault. That's just the way it is, really. If you saw that Corvette that I did before, it had been sitting for years, and the brakes were like crust. It was like pizza crust. They were just coming off. These aren't too bad, and I'm kind of thinking maybe a drive, few hundred miles might do it. But the risk going to the MOT station, taking it to Mike for MOT, to fail it, to come back to do the brakes, to take it back again, or do I just bite the bullet and do the brakes now? That's the kind of thing I'm discussing in my own head. But look at this. Look at this, right? I've never had a little car like this before that will fit in this garage that allows me to do this. La 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 la. Look at that. Not a shimmy in sight. It's so small and neat, this thing. I could jack it up both sides without having to put it outside. So, I mean, sometimes this garage might look a little small when you've got the Mustang in, or the Dodge Charger that I had, or the Corvette, but those are all pretty big cars, pretty long. They make this area look a bit smaller than it is, but really it's not. It's pretty good. So, let's So I might as well look at this first. Brake fluid. Hello, little thing. Oh my! Hold on a minute. Where's my light? Oh, you're joking. Look at that. I have never, ever bought a used car when the brake fluid's as clear as that. Well done, previous owner. Well, that's a job I don't need to do. There's no way I'm bleeding the brakes if that's the cleanliness of the fluid. That's like, just out of the water. These must have been done recently. There's a new brake line as well. See that? That's a new brake line. I don't know what wheel that's. I don't know what wheel that one's going to, but that's a new brake line. All of this looks pretty clean. A wee bit of rust in the heat shield, but that's all it is. Probably just a heat shield. Don't really care. And engine. This is just the engine cover. The red bit. That's just covering the ignition coils and the sparkies. Things that make the fire. And then what have we got here? Everything looks pretty good, and like I said, I think those injectors look reasonably clean and new, but everything's quite accessible, you know. And when I first got it, I thought, a 4-cylinder supercharged, I'm not used to working on that, but like I say, they've flipped it in the right way, or the way that I'm familiar with, the way that I've been used to. And we've got a battery there which we'll test for the alternator charging it. Grounding points don't look too bad. We've got a little boxy thing there, whatever the heck that is. Coolant, what we got coolant wise? That looks pretty good as well. Blue coolant, blue Mercedes coolant. And of course you'll get the oil for this that will be Mercedes-Benz 229.3, whatever it is, which translates to anything that I've got in the shelf. You know. And we've got a new grille in the trunk, so we may have to, this grille, oh yeah, I see why. There's a few stony bits and chips and stuff in this grille. We'll pop that off. We could refinish this one though. Maybe if anybody wants a spare grille, get in touch with me, because I'm going to refinish that one. Yeah, looking pretty good. All the seams are good. The wings are all good. No signs of any bashes or anything like that. Yeah, this is a little good one. Just got the corrosion here to deal with. And like I showed you from the car was outside, we do have a little bit on some of the wings. But in general, we're not too bad. Uh-oh. Don't forget the brake fluid filter. I should really stop touching these with my bare hands. Not the best idea. There we are. Right, okay. So, I need to go to Halfords and pick up some supplies. I've run out of shop towels. I need some wire wheel brushes. I need a couple of bulbs. There's a bulb in the dash that's out. I need to get a bulb for that. I think it's one of the T1s or whatever they call them, the tiny push fit ones. And, ooh, look at this. Ah, hey, must have had that for the SL. I forgot I had that. So, we need to go and pick up some stuff, but the advisories on this, I think the last MOT from memory, I should really have printed the sheet out before I videoed this. I think it's got some subframe corrosion, but not seriously weakened, which could just be a little bit of rust on it, or I think the model after this, the 171, is the one that got hit with the kind of subframe problems that Mercedes are replacing under warranty. And I think these fared a little better, but we'll find out when we jack it up. That could be a case of sanding it all back if it's not got holes in it. Sanding it all back, putting some rust prevention stuff on it, and then getting some wax oil or something like that on the subframe. Done that loads of times with cars. Sometimes you take them for MOT and as soon as you see a little orange bit, it's advisory for rust. But really, if it's not failing, if it's not get the points falling off where the control arms are joined onto it, you're fine. So we'll have a look at this when we go underneath it. But yeah, pretty pleased so far. Are you? I would be if I bought this. Wire wheel brush. Got them? Need some of them. Just by chance we have a little delivery here. What could this be? What could I have ordered for the car already? This is an eBay purchase, so what the heck is going on here? There we go. Right, what have I bought? What have I bought? Let's see. Can you guess? Can you guess? Little cosmetic thing to start with, because why not? There we go. Because it looks better than the one that's on the car. It's not perfect. It's got some bubbles in it as well. But it's a lot better than the one that's on the car. So let's replace that. We'll replace that one. The one that's on the car, let me show you. It's severely tarnished there. So what I'll do is I'll take this one off, put this one on just as a little cosmetic boost, and then I'll repaint this one eventually. And one of you guys that owns an SLK could maybe get it off me if you need it. You know, that's how we do things. So yeah, let's go for that. Ease myself in gently with these things, so we'll do that first of all. Did give the battery a quick test. It's just over 12 volts. Not the best, but we'll start charging that up with the C-Tech and whatnot. Wait a minute. What is that? Hey! Hey! Always a plus when you get a little extension tool hidden away somewhere. Hey, what else is in there? Anything else? No. Oh well. Hey, that's part of getting a used car though, isn't it? You get a little tool. I could do with one of them. That's longer than what I've got there. Add that to the tool collection. Alright, so what do we need here? A couple of hex sockets. Okay, let's take that off. There we go. I think this has got brake. Oh, there's a chewy. That is a chewed. There you go, first job of the day, not as easy as we thought. Yeah. To get a few tricks, to get this one out. There we go. Definitely looks like something's eating the paint off this, but we shall restore. So it'll also give me an idea if the coils are in good nick. Don't have any engine management lights on in this car, which is a good thing, but... Ah! That was close. I really should get myself an electric wrench for this. I've got an impact, but I never use it. I'm just traditional, I suppose. Ooh, yeah. So, off we come. Alright, okay. So, excuse me, pardon-moi. So I thought this one came with a 2 coil pack setup because I saw that some of the older ones had 2. This has obviously got 4 individual coils. And everything looks okay in there. You can't really tell if one's gone or not, but with the writing on them, it's all pretty good. It's not worn away or anything like that. So it looks as if they've maybe been done. Are we mayonnaise? I haven't even checked that yet. Well, no, we're okay. We're alright. No mayonnaise-y. And yeah, that looks okay. So we can get that engine cover on just to make it look a little bit better. But in general that looks fine. It certainly starts okay. Right, there's the air filtration system. There's that last replaced. Let's have a swatch. you know. Have I missed a clip? No, no, I haven't, no. Oh, we can do this one. Take this off. There we go. Okay, let's see. Oh, my hands are freezing again. What have we got? What have we got? Man filter, 14th September 2023, so at least not since then. So yeah, we'll put a new filter in it, of course. It was not too bad though. I've seen these with half an ecosystem in them with an older car, but this one's been replaced fairly recently, so that's pretty good. Pretty good. Just leave it off just now, that'll do it. How's the oilage situation? Oilage, smoilage. Let's have a look. Oh, it's pretty clear actually. Yeah. Excuse me. Oh dear. Woo! I must be allergic to this oil. What is it? Oh no. That is pretty clean oil. That has had a change recently. That's pretty good. And it's on the level as well, so we're doing okay. And I showed you the brake fluid earlier, didn't I? The brake fluid. I have never bought a used car with brake fluid like that, so kudos to everyone who's owned this car before, or whoever last serviced it, because brake fluid is often the same colour as your oil. So that's pretty good. Right, what else? Power steering fluid. Let's have a little look-see at that. Power steering. Oh, okay. That's the green stuff. That's the green stuff. Green hydraulic fluid, which is good because I've got loads of that in stock. And we are on, what's that? Oh my goodness, I can't read that small. We're on a little bit low. Do with a little top up there, but we're pretty good though. It's nice and clean. I think I've got some green hydraulic fluid there from the Mercedes SL that we can top that up with. Let's see. Come on, where's my fluids? There's no way I used all that hydraulic fluid the last time. Oh, there's 5W40. There we are. And this stuff stinks. It really does stink. We'll give it a top up anyway. Just a wee tiny bit. Well, that should be it. There. It's right on the max. That'll do nicely. Thank you very much. Good night. About £256 including VAT. Thank you. Coolant! How are we doing for coolant? How are we doing for coolant? I knew I shouldn't have flung that out. I always keep stuff. And I keep these screen wash bottles as well because they're really good at dumping old oil into and disposing of it responsibly. Coolant, what we got? Ah! And we're right on the money for the coolant as well. One of those little floaty things that you can see. Yep, we're good for coolant, right up to the top. Is that us for fluids? We got PAS, coolant, brake fluid, oil, screen wash, stick some in. I think we're all good for the old fluidities. Good. About the belts, how are they looking? Belts. 2 belts. Looks as if we've got an AC belt. And that's the one going around the supercharger as well. Crank pulley, the water pump, power steering pump, AC pump and idler. Tensioners there. Yeah, that belt looks okay actually. I've just spilt power steering fluid all over it, but besides that, well, that'll be fine. I'll give it some lubrication. So in general, we'll do an oil change on it, but the oil looks excellent. I have to check when it was last changed actually, because I mean, it's good. It's good. You know, I'm just not going to be able to do all that stuff in the video for you. But anyway, that's good. That's good. Might check when the plugs were last changed, and yeah, engine's looking okay, pretty healthy. Let's stick this cover back on. These are pretty decent covers. Some of the gaskets and everything. Excuse the coughing, please. I'm absolutely freezing out here, and I've seemed to. I don't know what I've got. I've got something that's been hovering around me for a good few days now, and it's not going away. And I think coming out here in the cold, it's not really helping it, you know. It's kind of more than likely making it a lot worse. But what can you do? You can't sit about the house doing nothing, can you? You've got to keep going. So let's get on here. What did I do with my light? Can't see anything. Ah, there it is. That's better. Why are you not getting in? What's going on? Oh, you're offset, that's why. You ever talk to everything when you're doing a car? I almost find myself talking to the bolts and stuff. You know, telling them to get in. Oh well, there's the first mistake. Current cover that I just bought. One of these bolts is offset, that's why it ain't fitting. Oh well, I'm pretty sure this one said R170, must be an earlier version or something because it's completely the wrong shape. However, what we'll do is I think I'll just resand this one down, give it a coat of the high temperature red paint, and if anyone wants it, you can send me a message and we can discuss shipping that out. You know, have to repair this one as well, but oh well, that's what you get for having a few beers and going on to eBay, isn't it? Oh well. Alright, we're jacked up here, and I'm hoping this isn't a wheel bearing issue, because to do a wheel bearing in this isn't a 5-minute job, and I really don't want to mess with that, but good that way, good that way, good. It does sound, listen to that, hear that? Oh! Yeah. I'm hoping it is simply a brake issue. And of course, I'll take this wheel off. But first I need to find the locking wheel nut. If there even is one in the car, I haven't even checked yet. Oh well. Good news, it's not a wheel bearing, I don't think. Well, I found the noise. Here it is, listen. There, goes away. And then, if you're unsure, you've got two wheels to check, so you can come around here. Excuse the darkness, but you can hear the noise. This one, not as bad. Wee tiny bit, but only when I'm putting pressure on it. But nowhere near as bad as the other one. So, that would suggest it's just the brake rotor or something. So we'll get the wheels off and we'll see what's going on behind there. But that's pretty good. I had visions of me jacking this up and shaking this wheel, you know, 12 and 6, 9 and 3, and it would be moving, which would suggest a bearing was out possibly, but we're not, we're good. Okay, so let's get this wheel off. Yeah. Now let's see what's going on behind the scenes. I'm going to have to, yeah. I'll lose them later. And this wheel is probably going to be stuck, yeah. I think I might need the old mule kick here, hold on. crusty disaster. Right, well, I don't think I need to look too hard to find out what the problem is here. It's the back plate. You see that? I think I get a better light for you, hold on. Huh, this light's not that great either. So, there's the back plate there, right? And as you can see, it's rusted right away from the bit that's supposed to hold it on there, and it's hitting the brake disc as you rotate it round. Let's see if we can do it. May not be able to do it with one hand, hold on. It is definitely that back plate. That should not be shaped like that at all. Ah well, let's just push it back in and hope for the best. It is extremely crusty. Extremely. But I reckon I think we'll have to decrustify this. Right, so this brake backing plate here, at the bottom, it's got a little chunk out of it there, but it was bent so much that it was rubbing off the bottom of the brake disc. So I've just bent it back and we'll clean it up a little bit. And we will probably have to, well, do we have to replace it? Don't know if it'll come up in the MOT as an advisory, but it is still solid around all of its mounting points, so it's not going to fall off or anything like that. It is like, you know, there's no movement in it at all down here or down here. It's just bent. Don't know how that happened. Maybe someone had it up in jacks or a jack and it just fell on it or something, or putting the wheel on it. I've got no idea. But essentially, that's what was causing the noise. Because when I turn this now, which I'm not going to be able to do one-handed. Hold on. So when I turn this now, there's no scraping noises, there's no grating noises like as if you're putting your nails down a blackboard, which it was doing before, because this is out the way. And the discs are in pretty good condition, although they look a bit crusty here. They're actually, the surfaces are pretty good, decent, and the pads have got a good bit of chunky life left in them, so hopefully it's enough to get it through its MOT without an advisory, or, you know, to pass it. So that's pretty good, and we'll tidy this up a little bit with a wire brush and stuff. So what I'm going to do now is I'm essentially going to go underneath here. I'm going to go underneath all of this, go around here, get the wire brush out, get as much of this surface rust off as I can, because it looks a lot worse than it is. You know, as long as everything's solid and there's no holes in anything, it's fine. But it does look a lot worse than it actually is, so let's get the wire brush out and we'll get to getting all this cleaned up as best we can. And I do have my goggles on, in case anyone's asking about health and safety and all the rest of it. We're okay, we're good. I'll just start off with the wee wheel and just get as much of this off as we can. So let's doing this kind of thing, don't strive for perfection in here, because you're never going to get it unless you replace all of these bits and pieces, which is not worth the while, you know. You just want to get it looking better than it was and making sure there's no holes in anything. And with this all this rusty, that is still a solid bit of metal, that is still solid, that's still solid, and that's still solid. So, you know, don't go ballistic trying to get this thing looking like brand new. The only way to do that is to take every single component of the suspension apart, replace it, or clean it until you're driven yourself crazy with cleaning. You know, And it's these bits here that are the main bits, the chassis bits, the bits that it's attached to. You know, if they're okay, that's half the battle. Right? So, and you can actually spray some stuff on here like rust reformer, but unless you get all of this crud off first, it's just going to fall off. So just aim for better than what it was when you got it. That's essentially the message here, because you could literally spend your next 5 or 6 birthdays doing this, you know. And it's the wee wheels are good on your brushes, but they're sometimes quite hard to get into these wee areas, and they're sometimes quite hard to control, you know. And sometimes it's get the old wire brush out, give it your best shot type of thing. So let's continue on with this and we'll see how it looks afterwards. We'll essentially be doing both corners and the same, and some of the underneath between the axle, between the wheels. You know, it's always a good idea to put something down on the floor before you make a mess, you know. But you know, sometimes these ingenious ideas just come to me in the middle of doing a job, and it's just came to now. So we'll put this under here. I'm just going to give the whole thing a squirt with brake cleaner. So essentially I've been doing this for about an hour now, and I've been going around everything underneath with the wire brush, with the drill brush, wherever I've left it, and with the bigger chunkier wire brushes, and just getting as much of that crud off as we can. And as you'll see when I move this, or you should have seen all of the rust here, but you're not seeing it because I'm so stupid that I forgot to do that anyway. So let's give it a scoosh with cleaner and see what we're left with. It's not too bad actually. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, if I'm brutally honest. We're solid underneath is the key thing here. So everything is squishy down. It's amazing how good things look after you do this. You know, brake lines are good here. You know, when you buy a car, sometimes, I don't know about you, but sometimes you can sit up all night wondering, what have you bought? What trouble's ahead of you? What Mercedes-Benz specialist tools do I need to do a simple job? You know? So, let that dry, I'll go and do the other side. You don't always see that, do you? It's exactly the same as that. Do you always see it? No. I'll just go and do the other side, and then we'll come back. Brake disc is looking brand new, look at that, eh? Wow. Replace the discs. No chance. Those have got thousands of miles left in them. Woohoo! Now, sometimes I like to stick some of this on things. Rust reformer, direct to rust primer, before coating it. I've got half a can left, so what the heck. I'm going to stick it on here. You just put this directly on your brake discs. No, you don't. Won't touch the discs. Just give it a quick squishy into the wee bits there. Direct to rust primer, and we can coat this with wax oil if we want to do some more afterwards, but for now this squishy in a can is just as good. And this will hopefully prevent this getting any worse, you know. He says, but we do live in the UK when I've got a brand new car outside and 10 seconds later it's like this. Hello. We're not going for perfection, remember. Just better than it was. You have to get underneath to do this a bit more. There, that looks a lot better. Isn't it? It's a lot cleaner. And everything looks pretty solid back here. There's no suspension movement at all that I can find. I mean, a lot nicer looking here. Other side's the same. You've got chunks of stuff coming off like that. You know it was overdue a little bit of rust treatment, don't you? So, oh, you love the disc, don't you? Yes, hello. So I think we'll get the wheels back on. We'll double check that that has fixed our problem there, which I think it probably has done. Do you know, I have often thought of I've often thought about investing in a quick jack, you know, the quick lifts that you can get, because I can't fit a two-poster in here. There's just not enough height. I don't think the concrete underneath here is thick enough to take it. But a quick lift would really be good in this situation, because the Mercedes have got these points here, like most cars, easy enough to jack up on the quick lift. And with the space I've got in here for this little car, it will work no problem. Maybe I'll have to invest. So it would save me having to jack it up twice, you know what I mean? Or put it up in 4 jack stands at the same time. Anyway, just saves time. Looking pretty good though, isn't it? Hey? Not too bad. It's fine. That's all fine. It's perfectly normal. You know, it's not had a wash for 21 years probably underneath here, so it's fine, don't worry. You know, normally I like to start off with a full interior valet and detail and get the little Bissell spot clean thing out and hoover and shampoo all the carpets and stuff, but I don't know why I decided to do this one the opposite way around. It's just been a habit. I've always cleaned every car I've had first, but well, I've done that here, don't know why. So, well, the back is looking better. The back brakes are turning freely with no noise at all. The calipers aren't binding like I thought they might have been at the start. And I think what I'm going to do is I've kind of got rid of all the loose rust, if you like, and just wire brushed it all off. Got my drill brushes, done the best I could for now. Given it some couple of bits of squishes of rust reformer, which is almost like rust primer. And I might waxy oil it completely, jack it up in all 4, waxy oil it completely, but I don't need to do that necessarily to get it through its MOT. So I think what we'll do now is maybe I'll go for a beer. Fancy a beer? Yeah, let's go for a beer. Lunchtime. That's better. Right, okay, what's next? I think we should jack it up at the front and take a look at the front end. There's a weird blue cable underneath it. I don't know what it is. Like a braided cable. It's definitely very odd looking when you see it, but it might be something plainly obvious. Oh, I never noticed that in the brake fluid reservoir's a little drain hole there for it. That's pretty good, isn't it? I never realised that. Anyway, so I think what I might do is put the wheels back on, spin them round, make sure there's no noise, and I shall get the front end jacked up. We'll take a look at that and see what that looks like. By the way, if you're watching this video and it's the first time you've been here and you're a Mercedes guy, there's going to be a few more videos in this car. So if you can, do me a big favour and hit the subscribe button and hit the like on this video. It's free, doesn't cost you anything, but it means I can continue to do projects like this and continue to make videos like this and let you guys see some of the stuff that I come across, and maybe you think, I could do that. And if you really want to, and if you can, I do have a Patreon site which helps tremendously. It's just new, so there's no one on it yet, I don't think. As far as I record this video, there's no one on it yet. But it's only a couple of bucks a month, and I've got loads of behind the scenes footage. For this car, for previous cars, the garage here. I'll video some stuff if I'm going to pick up a new car. And I'll let you have questions and answers on Patreon, whatever you want to know. But you can get in touch with me directly. And also, if you're watching the channel and you have an older car or something of interest that you want rid of or trying to sell, let me know. I might be interested in having a look, because once this is done, I might keep it, I might not, might move on and do videos of something else. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, but at least hit me up with a subscribe button and a like. Thank you. If you're a Mercedes guy and you're putting on alloy wheels and you can't quite see what you're doing, the little spindle things that you can buy off eBay for like a tenner, you screw it into one of the wheels, sticks out about that much, and you slot the wheel onto it and you don't need to go and find where the holes are. A sensible person that knew he was buying a Mercedes would have bought one of those things. Yeah, so I haven't. So sometimes you get lucky with these wheels when you just plop them on and they go on first time. That's definitely going to happen here. £12 high. 12 o'clock high. High. Will I get lucky? And that'll be right on the money first time. Not saying anything. Will I get lucky? Is that going to work? Yes, sir. Okay. Do you know what's coming? Amazon's coming right now, and he's bringing me a set of wheel lug sockets, which I really could do with, because this one is kind of rounded from a 17mm and it's too thick. Good timing. Let's see. How you doing? Perfect timing, thank you very much. Thank you. Cheers, thank you. That was not planned. That is the best timing ever. So there we have it. Little packet of, just bought the 3s, I've lost my other ones, but still got some left. These are alloy wheel sockets. And the difference between these and a regular socket is they've got a kind of rubberized protective coating around them so that they don't damage your alloy wheel, whereas the one I was just using didn't have that. So if I'd maybe had 5 or 6 beers, I might have scraped the alloys, but I only had one, so I'm okay. But these are safer to use in general. Observe. See? No problem. And they're longer as well, so you don't need to worry about an extension. So you can just plonk in, and they're easier to get in and out, you see. That is the best timing of an Amazon delivery ever. Because, oh, I've forgotten to put one in. Very handy, the old Amazon, for these kind of things. Although I don't know about you, have you noticed that some of the stuff they sell is also on that Temu site? And it looks pretty much exactly the same. I don't know, these weren't, these were like ones that you get in Halfords and stuff. But I've been kind of worried sometimes that the stuff on Amazon's kind of getting downhill a wee bit, I don't know. Maybe not. But these, so much better. Just blast through it, no problem. And that's it. This little kit comes with a 19 and a 21. You also get one that goes up to 22 and down to a 15, I think, for older cars, but that's all I needed for today, and it could come next day delivery. So that's us. Let's get this car back down all 4 hunkers. That's us. We'll jack it up a little bit and get the jack stands out of the way. Put this down. One thing I always forget when I'm doing this is take off my wheel chocks. Number of times I've get in a car, tried to drive off and realised chocks away has not been a phrase that I've been using. That always happens. One always gets stuck. Right. Oh, don't want to use the Jubilee clip. There we go, sir. Again. Sometimes it amazes me, like some airboxes, right? This one's not too bad, but some airboxes have got like 25 bolts around them. And you think, why? Has that been necessary? This one's not too bad though. I've seen a lot more. This one's an easy one. There we are, sir. That'll be £795 plus VAT. Let me just check I've buttoned everything up here before I move the car backwards, because that's always what I do. Forget something, forget a cap, forget that's on tight. That's on. Alright then. By the way, this is the biggest bonnet strut I have ever seen. Wait, I'll show you. It's just a single one in this car, but it is super chunky. Look at that. Fair play to them, they've thought, why use two when one will do? It's good saying that, isn't it? Why use two? One will do. And that's what they've thought here, obviously, because it's really huge, and I'm very surprised it still works. I thought I'd have been decapitated by this by now, but I'm not, so. Right, let's move this little guy back a little bit, and we shall see how the front end looks underneath the car. You got a new badge. Heard some little rainfall of rust there, probably off the top of that bonnet. I also found my old AMG keyring from the previous car, so it's on it. Don't worry, I'm not going to go badging the AMGs all over the car, but the keyring's okay. It's a Mercedes one, that's fine. Don't judge me for that. Right, let's go. Yeah. Really needs a good clean in here. That's what it does. To bear in mind that this thing is 21 years old, right? This year is 21 years old. Just ignore the disgustingness at the moment. I mean, I'll just get my light actually so you can see inside, so I've stupidly put the roof up. And just bear that in mind, right? Why you die? Wow. Right, so this car comes with heated passenger and driver seats. It's got both electric windows, obviously. It's got a winter and a snow mode for taking off and setting gear. It's got the convertible rooftop, obviously, the hard top. It's got AC. It's got good old dials in the AC. None of this touchscreen rubbish that I can't be bothered with today. It's got cruise control. It's got, does it have automatic lights? It doesn't have automatic lights, but you know, If it's dark, I switch the lights on. That's as automatic as I need it to be. And, you know, it's fully electric seats on both sides. There's modern cars that don't have those things. What was it Clarkson said once? If you want to see what your car is going to be like in 20 years, go and look at a Mercedes S-Class. Okay, I know this isn't an S-Class, but you know what I'm saying. Because they've got all the stuff on them that other manufacturers will have within the next 20 years. Whether or not that's true today, I don't know. But I quite like that saying, you know, quite like the way he said that. So yeah, we've got some touch-ups to do in here. This'll all need painted. That'll all need painted. The centre console down here, it will need painted and sanded back a wee bit to where the rough bits. The handbrake's a little bit tight, but I don't think it will be enough to worry me about it. It might just be needing a small adjustment, but it's fine. And it's pretty clean in here, but well, I say that, but it needs a whole shampoo and vacuum and leather conditioning on the seats. I'm going to take the seats out. But, you know, in general, you can't complain at a 21-year-old car when it looks like this, you know. And, you know, I think that what's the American version? The Chrysler Crossfire. It's the same as this, essentially, but I think it, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it only came with a 3.2 litre V6. Could be wrong, and I don't know if that seemed to have issues. Maybe more so than this little engine, but, you know, for the price that you pay for these now, you're getting a lot of little car, You're getting a lot of car for the money. You're getting decent performance, and you're getting a hardtop convertible, and you're getting a car that is solid. For the little bit that I've driven this in and out the garage and stuff, over a speed bump just outside the house here, there's no suspension clunks whatsoever. There's no noises apart from that brake disc that we just kind of fixed. There's no noises from this at all, and it's 21 years old. The mileage in this car is 62,000. And by the time we're finished with it, it'll be as mint as I can get it. I think that might wrap us up here for part 1, because I need to go inside and have my dinner. So I think if you want to join me again for part 2, we'll jack up the front. We'll double check everything underneath there in terms of rust, in terms of leaks, in terms of the front brakes. We'll give them a good check, and then we'll check all the lights, and I'm going to polish the headlights and bring them back to brand new, and give the whole thing a valet inside. And I might not even touch the paintwork until after the MOT, just in case there's something that Mike points out, the guys that I go to, in case there's something that they point out that I've maybe not picked up on, because they can see it a lot better than I can. And they've got years of experience at doing this, and they know exactly what a fail is and what a fail isn't, what an advisory is. They know precisely what to put down, so I trust them to do it, and I will wait until they have done that before I go and splash out any money on anything else. So yeah, thanks for joining me on this little Mercedes SLK journey so far. It's pretty cool. So listen, if you're an SLK owner and you're watching this, drop me a comment below. Let me know what problems you've had with yours. Let me know things to look out for that I've maybe not come across yet. And yeah, let's have a chat, and just drop a comment down and leave a like on the video, because this isn't me rehearsing any of this. I'm genuinely going through the car for the first time myself, and whatever I come across I'll fix. That's it. That's how we do it. And then if you want to leave me some advice of your pitfalls with an SLK, feel free. I'll happily respond to everybody. But I'm going to sign off for now, because my stomach is rumbling and I'm starving, and I've been in here for about 7 hours today, non-stop, without a break really, apart from that one beer. That was a good break. So thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.